Yay, we are live, and welcome to the live podcast of Courageous and Free with Jacquelyn Mack, live on here, LinkedIn and YouTube. And we are continuing the momentum, the scaling, the building the income, but most importantly, this month, the freedom without it costing you more energy, more time, more joy, more money. Which is interesting topic because a lot of my clients are like, yeah, I'm ready to do this. I'm ready to do that. And I'm like, are you really? Are you willing to invest? And they're like, what do I need to invest? I was told, the only way to make this happen is more time and or more money or both, right? So I'm here to tell you there are other components of this that if you're not considering, you are leaving a lot of money on the table. You are wasting a lot of time, energy, and sacrificing the real freedom you even designed your business to create for you in the first place and all the joy. So you didn't leave your 9 to 5 to work 24/7, or did you? If you did, this podcast is not for you. If you did, good. How's it going? How are you avoiding burnout, right? But if you really think about it, you didn't leave your 9 to 5 to work 24/7. And I don't care how much you love what you do, this is just the truth. And if this isn't the truth for you yet, it will probably be because nobody can actually work 24/7 without burning out. I know because I was stubborn and thinking I could trump that, and it happened to me twice, right? So, in this episode, I am actually going to reveal to you how to scale your business revenue without sacrificing your energy, your joy, or your personal time. It's that shift from being captive in your own business to one that truly provides you that money freedom, that time freedom. Because, like, you can have all the money in the world, but if you have the time to do the things you love to do, what's the point? Or you have all the time in the world, but you don't have the money to do the things that you want to do. What's the point? So it's like this double-edged sword that we get to discover, experience, and relate to in the ways that serve us best, right? That serve our desires, because I believe our desires are divine. And that's, again, what we decided to do from the start, or we wouldn't have probably created the businesses that we have, or we probably would have thrown in the towel. Some of you might be like, yeah, I've thrown in the towel multiple times on multiple businesses because of this, right? So, fair warning, what I'm about to share is super simple, yet most do not practice it due to the old patterns, old behaviors, old beliefs of what's familiar, right? And instead of doing something that's new and different, which is not familiar, which seems scary, and our minds automatically want to say, don't do that. And there's self sabotage and imposter syndrome, which I've gotten really good at detecting very quickly with my clients because of my own experience with it, but because every single client who comes to me, even for strategy or sales reviews or positioning or ROI on their business, we always end up talking about self sabotage, imposter syndrome, fears, limiting beliefs multiple times throughout our commitments and agreements with each other. So, if we're going to be aware of old patterns, old behaviors, and old beliefs, unless you're not willing to take that immediate, consistent action, the words being immediate and consistent action from this episode today, you will be already setting yourself up for more of what you already have and what you're already experiencing versus more of what you desire, which is what? Joy, time, and money freedom. And so the strategies I'll be sharing that will free you from this invisible, I call it invisible handcuffs that you actually created on your own. And you might say, no, it was because of this or because of that. You might blame or shame other people or even yourself. Just it's not right or wrong or bad. It's just what it is. So when are we going to be willing to shift and change that? Well, building a business, again, that's simple, super practical, and obviously going to be incorporating some time blocking strategies, some scalable models, some aligned offers, some very clear and confident positioning. And this is how you'll discover how truly you get to engineer your freedom the way you want, design your life the way you want. This is what I call the yes and life by design. It's the yes and. We don't have to sacrifice our personal life for our business life, or our business life for our personal life. And that's the best part of all of this. So we're going to do this with what? We're going to do it on purpose, and we're going to do it with consistent intention. So if you're tired of doing more just to earn more, and that's just it, and it's like, okay, well, I'm doing more, earning more, but have no time freedom, it's time to flip the script. So this episode is for you. It's your roadmap. So grab a pen, grab some paper, get out your notepad. Feel free to push pause if you're watching this on replay. If you're watching it live, go push pause later and watch it again. Because to scale sustainably while reclaiming what matters most. So first I want to talk about is freedom isn't a feeling. Though when you are completely free, it evokes certain feelings. So it's a structure you build. So what type of freedom structures are you building in your life? You're like, well, I haven't. That's why I'm listening to this episode. Okay? Or I have, but it doesn't work anymore. Okay, so before we dive into this piece alone, let's pause for a minute and ask yourself, what does freedom feel like? Ooh, what does freedom feel like? And use as many juicy descriptive words as you can and keep doing this for about a minute or two. So again, if you have to pause this, set a timer or not. If you're like, oh, I don't have a lot of time today, set a timer, 1 minute. Get out all the feeling words of what freedom means to you. My favorite that people usually say is do what I want, when I want, how I want, with whoever I want. Okay, but what does that feel like to do to you when you are doing those things? There are feeling words that you can actually start to feel as you're saying those words out loud, as you're writing them down. Like actually give yourself the opportunity to feel and experience the taste of freedom right now. And you're like, oh no, I haven't done the things. I'm not talking about doing the things. I'm just saying, describe what freedom feels like to you. Again, this is so simple, but yet our mind can overcomplicate it. So then as you do this, how often do you actually feel what freedom feels like to you? So as you get this out on paper, it's like you're looking at your answers. It feels like the warmth of the sun. It feels like the giddiness and butterflies in your belly. It feels like, wow, I finally made it. You're so proud, accomplished, gratitude. It feels like that just sigh of relief, no pressure, lightweightedness, floating, dream come true. It feels like going to Disneyland every day. Like, if you love Disneyland, obviously, these are the things like people have shared with me because you get to feel those feelings. You get to have a better relationship with the word freedom because some people even just overuse that word, and some people have an ick feeling when they hear the word freedom. Oh, sure, freedom, yeah. Huh. And what is that? That's just false. It doesn't exist. It does. But it's just how's your relationship with that? And what are you defining it to be? And then what does it feel like to you? So ask yourself after you get all the juicy words out, how often do you allow yourself to feel what freedom feels like to you? Be honest. Again, nobody else is doing this exercise with you. So the more honest you are, the more you're going to get out of this, the bigger your breakthrough, the bigger your clarity, and you're welcome. You didn't have to pay me anything for it. You're very welcome. So be honest. Is it daily? Is it occasionally? Is it only when certain people are around? Ooh, how many of you only experience freedom when certain people or clients are around or in your world? Oof. Or maybe it's never, and this is an exercise that's actually super difficult for you. If so, please book a vision activation call with me. I promise you it will unlock this for you in one session. And all of my coaching, we do a vision activation. It might not be the first thing we do, it might be something we do a couple weeks in. But when people are struggling with deciding from and living from their vision, their highest self, it's because they've never activated their vision. And when I say, you actually don't even need me to activate your vision, by the way, you don't need anyone. So let me just put a disclaimer out there. The reason it helps when somebody else does it for you is because it's already within you. It's just been dormant. So this is what I call a activate and create call. Like we actually activate and create your vision. It's you. I'm just the catalyst. I'm just the one asking the quality questions, and your heart gets to speak, which has probably been a long time if you think about it. It's probably like, when was the last time you allowed your heart to speak and you acted on it? like truly acted on it, not like, oh yeah, I wanted ice cream and I got ice cream. No, like the life-changing, like memory anchoring type action on something you truly desired. That's probably for a whole nother episode, but that's my point for this. So if this tool is going to help you with deciding and declaring what freedom feels like and looks like to you, it's really easy to experience it, to design it, to engineer it intentionally throughout your business. And it's not just something that you're hoping for one day once A happens and then B happens and then C happens. This is you giving your power away. And when you choose those feelings, or when those feelings actually are something you get to experience, you really do get to feel, like even right here, right now, what it's like if you're willing. So if you can do that now, you can do it every day. It's just, are you allowing yourself? Are you willing to go there and gift yourself that feeling? Because at the end of the day, we can desire and want so many things in life. It could be experiences, it could be physical things, it could be people, it could be the experience of romance and of blissfulness and honeymoon and having children and that just that whole other level of love and adventure and charisma and community. Like there's so many things we can desire and experience. But what that ultimately gifts us is are these feelings and emotions, part of being human, which is so cool when it's what we desire. And it can be so crappy when it's something we don't, right? So, quick story, I shifted from being less reactive. Whoo, how many of you are just out there reacting to the world? I'm human. I still react. Am I proud of it? No. And I apologize to my own children when I'm reacting. And I'm like, I need to put myself in timeout. This is not appropriate. And I'm going to take a pause. And I don't want to say something, or not even just saying something. It's just the tone, even. I can regret just the tonality, right? So taking it on as my respondability is a personal responsibility. And to protect my productivity through what? Time blocks that continue to fuel me. They fuel more revenue and momentum in my business, which what results in less stress and results in more joy, more fulfillment. Even when the outcome isn't exactly what maybe I was intending, my nervous system is grounded. It's not being tossed around like a rag doll anymore. And it's treated with respect as part of the other vital organ systems in my body. I actually dedicate time to ground. I invest focus and attention to regulating my circulatory system, my nervous system, my emotions, my mental well-being, my well, I already talked about my cardiovascular, but even just your lungs, your kidneys, your liver, like what gives us life, our brain waves, right? Like it's pretty miraculous how we just expect our bodies to do what they do, and they do what they do, and they clean up everything all the time, and we just kind of blast through life, right? So I created this model that's actually in Sales Codes. So if you want sales codes, let me know. It's a great tool. It's not just about sales. It talks about positioning and market research and how to really gain that ROI on your business. But as you know, if you're not making sales consistently and on the regular, and it just becomes part of who you are, you really won't have a business anymore. So there's a piece in there. That's the point I'm trying to make, is the leadership flow formula. And this is for decision mastery. So I explained to you how you can do this very quickly and easily and understand how your nervous system is a huge part of how you're making decisions or your lack of decision making right here, right now. Like seriously, how you make decisions and or the lack of your decision making because you're like, I need to think about it, or you're wavering, or you're just like yes is a decision and no is a decision, move on. Yes is a decision, no is a decision, move on. Like it really gets to be that simple, but it's like, oh, but what if I do this? What if I don't do that? What if I just push this out a little bit? No, just it's yes or no. And the more you say no, the more you're creating space for the big hell yeses, right? And this is still hard for me as a recovering people pleaser and an empath and just not want to miss out. Like FOMO is real for me. In some cases, a lot of things it's not anymore. Things that used to, I feel FOMO, I'm like, meh, because I can feel intuitively, like, am I really supposed to experience that? Or is it not for me? And it used to be for me, but it's not for me now. And it's not for me this time. And it's okay. And I feel really good in my decision. So if you're really good and you master your decision making, it's probably because you're already following this leadership flow formula and you don't even realize it. But wouldn't it be cool if you actually knew how it worked and you worked with it versus against it at times by default because you're just not aware of what you don't know, right? So if there's some decision making that's holding you back or lack of decision making that's holding you back, then this will be great for you because I promise you it will gift you what to be intentional with when it comes to regulating it and fueling it as if you would your own body and brain with like food and movement and rest, especially as a business owner or a solopreneur or a premium sales professional. Because how many times a day do you make something mean something? Oh my gosh, they didn't like this. They didn't answer that question right. Or I didn't ask this, or I allowed this to happen. Or like we start blaming and shaming ourselves. It's probably all the time, right? Or worse, we take something personally, like rejection. When someone says no to me about a sales opportunity, it's not about me. It is about them. And my job is to help them say yes or say no without regret. And they're just saying no to the thing, which is going to provide a solution. So maybe they didn't want the thing as much as they thought they did. Or maybe there's some underlying limiting beliefs that are holding them back, circumstances, situations, or their relationship with money. And dare I say one word here, assume. Or maybe you didn't honor your word. Like this is all coming from the 4 agreements because this is something I really have embedded into my daily routine, right? I honor my word. I try to make no assumptions. And if I start to, I go address them quickly with whoever or whatever I'm assuming. I pretty much try to take nothing personally, but again, I'm human. I'll catch myself and then I honor and release it. Or maybe what I was taking personally was an assumption. So then I go clean it up, right? And then just to be a little bit better every single day at not only honoring those things, but also what I'm committed to in this world. So, and it's not just honoring your word again with someone else about yourself. How many times you told yourself you're going to do something and you don't? Ooh, icky, icky, icky. So this isn't about blame or shame or you being perfect. There's no such thing, right? It's about shining some light on this awareness so that you can actually create room for improvement, which where you're aware of something and something can be improved. This is awesome because this is full of possibility and limitless potential. And this is where you can activate and experience if you are willing. If you're willing to design your life, use proven frameworks and structure with intention that create the exact freedom and money freedom and time freedom and joy freedom and both your business and your life. And wow, time is flying by. Okay, I'm going to fly through these because I feel like every episode could be like 3 episodes. And maybe that's what I have to start doing so that these can be digestible nuggets. But because I have this prepared for you, I want to just go ahead and start wrapping this up. I have 4 more topics to go through quickly here. And the first one is mistake of equating revenue growth with more work, right? And this is where a lot of people will hire me in as a coach or a mentor or a fractional sales director because they're like, I possibly can't grow anymore because I am doing all the work. And I've been trying to do more of the work and I'm really burning out. It's like they're at their last straw and they literally want to shut down $1 million business, which is crazy if you think about it. If you're like, I've never run $1 million business, why would someone ever want to do that? Walk a mile in their shoes, walk 10 steps in their shoes, and you'll see why. So you don't need to double your hours or double your income, right? I learned this the hard way twice, as if once wasn't good enough or one lesson wasn't like, I guess the best way to put it is I was just stubborn. I mean, I'm a Taurus by trade. That's what I was born into. And don't be stubborn like me is my point. Like it was the second time that I thought, okay, this will work differently. And I was like, what's changed? Once I started going down the road and burnout was starting to set in, I was like, oh, right. So again, you don't need to double your hours to double your income. It's actually not sustainable and it will lead to burnout. So this is the real cost of trying to scale without structure. The real cost that's part of burnout is decision fatigue, brain fog, client churn, low quality or lack of desired results, um, huge struggles with goal attainment, and for you and your clients. So it's not just about your clients having this problem too, right? they're going to be experiencing directly through you, because you're not able to show up, because you're not making decisions clearly. You're creating client churn because they're not getting the results that you have promised the solution to. And therefore they're like, see you later. And they're not happy and they're not fulfilled in the business side, nor probably, well, this spills over into your personal life, no doubt. Like, you can't just well, you could, if you practice this well enough, you can leave stuff, the emotions, the things at work, but it's like, why not just process through it and make that part of just who you are and how you be and how you show up? Because I don't care how much you love what you do. If you try to just keep doing more and more and more, there is a tap out. There is a tap out. It's not finite, right? So what you can do immediately to break free from old patterns and habits that led you to this amount of success, because you're like, wow, this is great. I love the success, but I'm not loving how I'm feeling and all the time that it's sucking from me, right? So I created this 3-part framework called the Freedom First framework. It's structure, strategy, and support. So structure, strategy, support. And there's no specific order to this, because some people hire the support to get the structure and the strategy, right? That's how all my clients have found me and eventually start working with me. The structure is designing your business to operate with less of your time, meaning where can you still create high leverage, low lift? So high leverage output, but low lift from you. And you're like, I have no idea. So this is the easiest place to start, believe it or not. Even if you're like, I have no idea, then start with your calendar. That thing that's probably running your life versus you running it, start there. This is where you'll start to protect what? Energy input and energy output. Look at where you're putting energy input in and energy output. And it's not an equal ratio thing here. Everybody's very different, but we're looking at productivity. We're looking at, are you investing your time and energy into revenue generating tasks only if you're a solopreneur? And then we have this awesome tool in Sales Codes as well called the Urgency Trap Audit. It's a simple tool to apply, and it will result not only in you increasing your momentum in business, but it will tell you exactly what to do with what you already know, right? That needs to be taken care of, or what you think needs to be taken care of, versus what most people find themselves, which is like increasing momentum while sustaining, while everything else feels urgent and important, and only you are the one that can take care of it. And then you become on this hamster wheel, and then the things keep stacking up and your to-do list keep happening, and it just builds until we break down, or things get dropped and clients are unhappy and churn rate starts, and then we're not sleeping, and then we have decision fatigue. And then we're wondering what the heck happened when a few months ago we were on top of the world, or a few weeks ago, a few days ago, right? So I'm here to say that it's exactly the type of thinking and rapid reacting that's costing you thousands a week. And some of my clients, before they hired me, hundreds of thousands per month. So prioritize the simple, proven structures, which will depend on number 2, which is strategy, focusing on the aligned high leverage, low lift revenue actions. And sometimes it's high leverage, high lift until we figure out and dial this baby in. But eventually the goal is high leverage, low lift, right? So if you want to discuss this, I have some massive breakthroughs that happen with clients or people who just book me for one quick call on the clarity around this. And if you're like, oh, I don't know, I can't do a call, then join me on Thursday. I have a workshop every Thursday at 10 a.m. right after I record this podcast. It's called Sales Momentum to Mastery, where I do live laser coaching. There's a little bit of networking, but every person that registers and shows up, we talk specifically about strategy, and I gift you structure. So there's 2 things right there. In one masterclass, you get these 3 things. These 3 things are critical for what? Freedom First frameworks, right? Structure, strategy, and support, right? So who and what you must delegate to. So who are you delegating to? What are you delegating to in order to scale sustainably? And this will support you in who you now must be and show up as, because it's going to be radically different. It's going to feel foreign. And guess what's going to show up? Self-sabotage, imposter syndrome, fear, doubt, worry, anxiety. I've had clients at every single break. It seems like it's the 100K month breaking point, and then it's the $500,000 breaking point, and then it's the $1 million month breaking point. And it's like, no matter how much I've worked with them in and out throughout their business, it's like, is this really happening? Why am I still feeling anxious? Is this is this normal to feel like self-sabotage or imposter syndrome? Like, I'm used to talk to people at this level all the time, and now it's at this other level, but it's still the same type of person. Why am I feeling this way? It's so good to have that support to bounce this off of, because it's just your mind trying to protect you, right? But is it really protecting? Is it really serving you? No, because that's not what it was designed to do. It was designed for fight, flight, freeze, right? So, or what some people, they freak out. And that's the other F, right? All right, real freedom. Real freedom is repeatable revenue with boundaries. So why reoccurring revenue, or what's also called MRR, monthly reoccurring revenue, is my favorite because it's so easy to monitor and manage and scale, is your offer suite. Does your offer suite position you in a way that creates a peace of mind and is positioned for your ideal client or your prospects, right? The positioning is usually the biggest thing. People come to me again all the time for sales structure, strategy, scripting, all that. I have it all, and it all works very well. But 99% of the time, we have to change something or alter something or correct something in the positioning. And on top of that, we're also working on mindset. Like, if I just sold mindset all day, and again, this is where I'm not the best marketer, but I am brilliant at positioning. When I say marketer, meaning like running ads and creating content that just like puts pennies in your pocket every single day. That's not me. At least that's not me that has a strategy that like works consistently, because I haven't figured that out yet, because I'm staying in my zone of genius, right? I hire that part out to other people who are really good at it. My point of this, though, is when we're thinking about reoccurring revenue, we're doing this because that peace of mind, the nervous system is taken care of when you intentionally build a business that gives you a peace of mind. And we just talked about how your nervous system is a big part of how we make decisions. And whatever results we're getting from the input we're putting into life, with intention or not, is going to give us results that cause us to feel a certain way, which then activates or deactivates our nervous system in a certain way, which causes chemical reactions within the body. And boom, here we are manifesting literally dis-ease, if there's dysregulation, or peace of mind, blissfulness, happy. Like, how you feel, there's different chemicals that are going off. So obviously we want the good stuff going off, because that's what's going to help our body heal. That's what's going to help our body perform. That's what's going to eliminate all the things that are causing literal disease, like physical disease, mental disease, emotional disease, whatever you want to call it. It's still all interconnected and dependent upon each other. That's why I'm so passionate about it. So here's a really quick example, because I have one more to talk about. That's probably the biggest elephant in the room. I had a client, and after 3 years of up and down, and I have known this client for over 5 years we shifted one thing. We shifted into evergreen. We looked at, which is funny that I say this, because I just had another client that I'm working with right now that just shifted into evergreen this week, right? And she was already doing 100K months, but she just switched to evergreen. This person shifted finally into evergreen, had a scalable service and a downsell bundle. Within, it was probably 70 something days. I'm going to say 90 days. So 3 months, she hit consistent revenue breaking months, like every month, except for one, which she was out of town for 2 weeks, or out of town. I say she was off working, like any intentional sales revenue type practices, for 2 weeks. So consistent revenue breaking months with decreasing. And this percentage I think is low, but I like to stay on the conservative side, because most of the time we don't even believe when people are like, yeah, 30%, 50%. We're like, really? 30% less client face time. Again, high leverage, low lift, increased consistent MRR or reoccurring revenue, and boom, structure, strategy, support, right? Lastly is the joy. Did you think this brought her joy? Hell yeah, it brought her joy. It brought me so much joy. Like, I receive so much of what my clients create with their wins. I receive and feel it all. I receive and feel the joys. I receive and feel the pain and the struggles. I'm an empath. Like, it's a gift. It's also, like, I used to think it was a curse, but it's something I have to manage. Like, I have to regulate. It's part of my nervous system as well, right? It's all attached, like I said before. But joy as a business strategy, and now I'm going to lose half of you that are listening to this, and that's fine, because you're not my people. But there are degrees on the psychology of happiness, of, there's so many cool, go look it up. There's so many cool degrees right now on helping bringing this into organizations, big multi-billion-dollar corporations. So it's the same for your itty bitty small business, whether you're doing 5K months, 100K months, $1 million months, multiple $1 million months. You will not stay consistent with something that feels like punishment or invisible handcuffs. You just won't, unless you have some really type of freak mental trauma that has you anchoring that is just what you like, right? Which could be true for some people. Some people like to feel bound by something. And so they just say that I'm just gonna be honest, they'll blame and shame that thing. It's like, well, I created this business. I can't stop now because I'm passionate about the people I serve, but I have to do it this way when there's so many other ways to do things. Like, especially if you're like, well, I don't see it. Like, I'm so uncertain. Good. In the space of uncertainty, there's so much possibility and potential. There's like more than even you could create in a lifetime, right? Excuse me. So, when you scale with intention and energy, your clients feel it. The results multiply for you, for them. It's literally a win, 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 win. It keeps going. It's like dropping a pebble in a pond in the ripple effect and everything that gets impacted or activated by that. It's that ingredient for contagious success. Contagious. So joy is contagious, just like what? Anger is contagious. Gossip is contagious. Blaming and shaming is contagious. Woe is me is contagious. Look at complainers and how they like to complain together in their little world, right? And then you see like successful people attract more successful people. So this is the contagious that we want to spread, right? The success, the joy, the fulfillment beyond the culture of the organization, but penetrate to what? Our clients as well. And it does. Like it's effortless. It really is. So be honest with yourself. How much of the day do you feel the pinch me, I'm so happy freedom vibes? Like really think about that. And then ask why. Ooh, and where can I turn off the dial? Or why not? Ooh, why not? Where are you giving your power away? Because whatever gives you joy gives you joy. And whatever isn't, you're giving your power away. But don't wait for the thing to be the joy. Does that make sense? Like, don't I would never put the pressure on my kids to bring me happiness. I am happy when I'm around them naturally, but I'm happy first, right? And when mommy's not happy, I can see them too. They're not happy. They should. It's contagious, especially from the dominant energy in the room. So, are you giving your power away, your joy power, your fulfillment, your freedom to being busy doing the things that you think you have to do and you think no one else could do them? This is that 80-20 rule. I believe I first heard this from, and this is not 80-20, what you're thinking 80-20. This is 80-20. Are you giving away the 80% that other people can do 80% as good as you, and you're only focusing on the 20%, right? So when you think of all the things that are generating revenue in your business, this is an easy example to look at this. The goal is to have 20% of what you do generate 80% of your revenue. Then look at that and be like, how can I delegate where other people can do it 80% as good as I can? This is the compound effect of scaling momentum, decreasing your lift, right? High leverage, low lift on your side. Now, when you delegate to someone, it might be a high lift for them. This might be a full-time position for them, but not full-time for you anymore. So, are you completely blocking your momentum in next level success? And if you're saying no, I like to call BS on that, but maybe it's okay too right now. You might be in a season where it's okay. The momentum that I have that's inconsistent, it's okay. There's been many seasons. Actually, I'm going into another season here soon where I actually have, so I want to share about. If you want support and breakthrough, clarity, confidence around your business and start to generate next level ROI with your intention, with your investments, with your positioning, then I highly recommend an ROI reboot, which is 5 weeks of one-on-one coaching with me. I don't have any spots available right now. And I have a couple spots already taken up in June, but I have 5 spots left starting the second week of June. So if you're like, oh yeah, that sounds amazing. What does that look like? What does that feel like? How do I do this? So imagine having me in your back pocket, literally on your phone, available to chat with you about your positioning, your sales, your structure, your strategy, and giving you all the support. Like, even if it's back to the basics of, okay, well, I got to do some market research. I'm stuck in my head on who I'm serving. I'm not even sure who I'm serving wants what I have. Well, let's go ask them, right? So, this ROI reboot is a no brainer for you if you're like, yes, I want access to sales codes. I want that high level support. I want to start practicing high leverage, low lift. And I need this piece to turn everything around. And I would say, don't even invest because of need. You deserve this. If you know this is the evidence or the element in the room, that's like, yeah, you'll get 3 private one-on-one calls with me to dial in your offer stack, increase your confidence in your power positioning, refining your sales conversation so they actually convert sooner than later. You'll get 1 month of voice text support. That's what I was saying. I'll basically be in your back pocket for real-time feedback and coaching in between calls. Access to sales codes and money codes, both of them. I added money codes to this because people will come to me and they have major blocks with money. So I'm gifting that as part of the ROI reboot now. It was just sales codes. You get money codes. It's for 2 months. But if you want to upgrade to working with me for 6 or 12 months, you get it for lifetime, or you can just pay the one-time fee and have it for lifetime. You'll get the power prompts, the sprint tools, the market research method, everything I spoke about today, the urgency trap audit, the freedom flow formula, and so much more. Like, honestly, it's more than you could probably apply in 5 weeks, but I've had people apply it all in 5 weeks. And were able to start scaling because of the real-time support and because they invested the time and energy, and they were willing to take the pressure off and shift. That's the thing. Are you willing? Are you willing? Because you'll decide all day to do something, but until you commit to it, and commitment is deciding to do it all the time. You decide and you do it, and you decide and you do it, and you decide and you do it. That's commitment, not decide and then a day goes by, and then weeks go by, and then months go by, and then years go by. And be like, why didn't I commit? I don't know. You tell me. Let's stop making it right or wrong. Let's stop making it good or bad. And let's just get clear on, like, decide again, commit again, keep going, keep swimming, keep moving forward, right? All right. I'm going to leave you with so much love. Jump on the reboot. Love to see you in a workshop. And until next time, bye for now.